Hello and welcome. If you're here reading this right now, that means you've passed the test, whether you realize it or not. This moment, this very moment, is proof that you've already begun to shift, to align yourself with something greater than just your day-to-day experience. And it's no coincidence that you're here. So, take a moment to acknowledge that. Give yourself credit for being open to this message, because that openness is the key to real transformation. The test that I'm talking about is not something that happens on the surface, not something you can physically touch or measure in a traditional sense. It's not about passing or failing in the way we've been conditioned to think. This test is much deeper, and it's one that asks you to step beyond your current mindset, beyond the habits and beliefs that have kept you in a certain place. The fact that you're engaging with this content now is a sign that you're already ready to move into the next phase of your growth. This is a breakthrough. You see, life doesn't present us with tests in the way we might expect. It doesn't always come with a clear, right or wrong answer. Often, life is more about alignment. It's about checking in with yourself and asking, am I showing up in my fullest capacity? Am I acting in accordance with my truest self, my higher self? That's the true test. It's not about trying harder, pushing harder, or working harder. It's about being in alignment with your inner truth. So, what is this test really? It's the test of whether you are willing to break free from the mental patterns that have limited your life so far. It's the test of whether you're willing to let go of the past, the old memories, the old emotions, the old beliefs, and step into something new. It's the test of whether you're ready to become someone who doesn't just react to life, but actively creates it. And the fact that you're here, listening to this, means you're already passing that test. The shift we're talking about isn't some magical overnight change. It's about creating a new way of being. It's about stepping into the present moment, releasing all the mental baggage, and thinking about the vast potential that's available to you right now. The more you let go of old beliefs and expectations, the more you open up to the endless possibilities that exist for you in every moment. You've likely heard that we are not our thoughts, and that's true. But it's even more than that. We are the energy behind our thoughts, the consciousness that can direct our attention. Once you realize this, it becomes clear that you're not a prisoner of your past. You're not bound by the patterns that have played out over and over again. You have the power to direct your energy, to shift your focus, and in doing so, to create a whole new experience of life. Now, let's talk about how this shift happens. It's not something that occurs in the blink of an eye. It's a process. It's something that builds over time, as you learn to move beyond the limitations of your past conditioning. And what you'll notice as you continue on this journey is that you start to feel different. You start to feel more connected, more at ease, more in tune with your own energy. You might even start to notice that your reality begins to shift. Things around you start to align more easily, opportunities start to appear, and relationships deepen in ways you may not have expected. But here's the thing, you can't force this process. It's not about trying harder or doing more. It's about allowing yourself to simply be. It's about choosing to live from a place of calm and clarity, instead of reacting from fear or stress. This is where the real magic happens, when you stop striving and start allowing. This idea of allowing might sound simple, but it's actually one of the hardest things for people to do. We've been conditioned to believe that in order to achieve something, we have to struggle or push ourselves. But in reality, it's the exact opposite. When you learn to trust the process and allow life to unfold naturally, that's when the true transformation takes place. The energy you put out is directly linked to the experiences you have. If you're living in fear, doubt, or resistance, that's what will show up in your life. But when you shift your energy to one of calm, trust, and acceptance, things start to change. You begin to attract more of what you want. The universe responds to your frequency. And here's the catch, the more you release resistance, the more you align with your higher self, the more you start to feel this subtle yet undeniable shift in your life. It's not about waiting for external circumstances to change first. It's about changing the internal environment first. The outside world will follow. And it's important to know that the journey isn't about perfection. It's not about never feeling fear, doubt, or uncertainty. It's about recognizing those feelings, acknowledging them, and then choosing to move forward regardless. That's where the power lies. You might be wondering, how do I know when I've truly passed this test? Well, it's when you start to notice that the challenges you once faced seem to fade away. The things that used to trigger you no longer have the same power over you. You're no longer at the mercy of your thoughts and emotions. You've learned to respond, rather than react. And that's a huge sign that you've passed the test. When you start living in alignment with your true self, your energy shifts. You become magnetic. Your life begins to reflect the energy you are putting out into the world. And this isn't just about attracting material things, it's about attracting the experiences and connections that align with who you really are. You'll find that people are drawn to your energy because you're no longer trying to prove anything or seek validation. You're simply being. And when you allow yourself to just be, everything else falls into place. But even more than that, you'll begin to see the world around you start to reflect your inner transformation. The people you encounter, the opportunities that arise, the way you feel about yourself, it all shifts. You start to attract people and experiences that are in alignment with who you truly are. You stop settling for anything less than what you deserve, because you now understand your worth on a deeper level. At this point, you might start to feel like you're living a completely different life. And in many ways, you are. You're no longer living from a place of reaction and survival. You're living from a place of creation and possibility. You're no longer waiting for something outside of you to change before you feel better. You've realized that the only thing that needs to change is you. As you continue to evolve, you'll notice that the way you interact with the world will change, too. You'll find yourself becoming more present, more grounded, more at peace. Your relationships will improve because you're no longer trying to change anyone else, you're just being yourself. You'll start to see opportunities instead of obstacles, solutions instead of problems. And that's the power of transformation. But what's most important is that you've learned to trust yourself. You've learned to trust that you have the ability to create your own reality. You've learned that the power has always been within you. The test you've passed is not just about understanding these concepts intellectually, it's about embodying them. It's about living them every single day. The moment you start to think of this new way of being, everything changes. You start to experience the life that you've always known deep down you were capable of. It's no longer just a dream or a far-off hope. It's your reality. You've stepped into the version of yourself that you were always meant to be, and that's a powerful place to be. As you move forward, remember this, you've already passed the test. It's not about being perfect, it's about showing up, being present, and allowing yourself to evolve. You're exactly where you need to be, and the universe is already aligning with your energy. Your job now is to continue living from a place of trust, knowing that everything you need is already on its way to you. You've already begun to create a new reality, and there's no going back. The test is over. The real work is just beginning. So, take a moment to congratulate yourself again. You've passed the test. And now, the true transformation begins. Keep going. Keep allowing. Keep being. And watch as the universe begins to conspire in your favor. You've done it. You've made it. And this is just the beginning. By subscribing, you're not only supporting the channel but also yourself. You're taking proactive steps to continue your growth and stay in alignment with the positive energy that's available to you. Feel free to like the video, share it with those who could benefit from this message, and be sure to subscribe to stay updated with new content. There's a lot more in store, and I can't wait to share it with you. Stay tuned for more videos, and remember, the journey continues. You've already started it. Now, let's keep it going. Take a moment to reflect on what you've learned today and let that knowledge guide you. continue to trust yourself and the process. And most importantly, know that you have the power to create the life you desire. Keep going, and never forget that you have passed the test.